One lottery ticket makes a big difference for our state students. And when I say big, I mean bigger than jackpot big. Since 2002, South Carolina students have benefited from more than $6 billion in lottery-funded scholarships and grants, including the Life, Hope, and Palmetto Fellow Scholarships. With every lottery play, you're supporting our students, and that adds up in a big way. That's why education is our middle name. Learn more at sceducationlottery.com/betteryou.
Just getting the Blake Lively thing, then I'll jump in when I feel the right time is.
You'll know exactly the right time.
My Taylor Swift thing.
Yeah,
Okay.
Justin Baldoni is now suing Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds and their publicist for $400 million over the heated situation behind It Ends With Us. This is huge. TMZ says this is like the longest lawsuit they've ever read, and they've read many a celebrity lawsuit. It was 179 pages of complaints demanding a jury trial. This new suit presents a big different perspective, accusing Blake Lively of actually defaming Justin Baldoni. Blake's lawyers have fired back, basically saying this is a classic move out of basically any person who has ever sexually harassed someone's playbook. They said this is a total thing. In fact, experts call it DARVO, deny, attack, reverse victim offender. It's a whole phrase. This is what they do when they sexually harass. They turn it back on the victim. And they say that's simply what Justin's doing. But Justin has receipts and text messages from certain events where, even when they come up with the concept of the movie, when they were doing rewrites of the movie, and there were many of those, how he was threatened and even ambushed by Blake Lively.
Oh, yeah. So that's what they said, that were Ryan Reynolds and Taylor Swift come into the picture. So I guess, right, he was the director of the movie. He had a script, and then Blake Lively changed it. And they invited, Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds invited Baldoni to their penthouse, right? So do you know the story now?
Yeah.
Okay, what is it?
I think you
but you know the story.
No,
Okay.
you tell it.
They invited Baldoni to Ryan Reynolds and Blake Lively's penthouse, and Taylor Swift was there. And they said, here's the rewrites we did. And Taylor was like, God, that's such a great version. Taylor was like,
pushing for
Blake Lively's version is so much better than your version in so many words. And so they went with it. So now, what I gather, they're subpoenaing Taylor Swift's text messages to see if that was all set up.
That's big time.
Right? So now you got the Taylor Swift effect, which anytime that touches anything, this could be the Johnny Depp case times 1,000.
That's what I said 2
I know
weeks
you did
ago.
say that.
that was-
You did say it.
No,
you did say it, and
you
now
did
it
call
is
it.
turning into that
Well,
big
that's what
time
I'm
because
saying.
in one of the text messages that Justin had put in the lawsuit, apparently, it was a text message between him and Blake Lively, and it was after that incident had happened. She was like, it's kind of like if you ever watch Game of Thrones, I'm Khaleesi and I have dragons, and these dragons will fight for me. And the dragons were Taylor and Ryan Reynolds in that situation.
wow.
Which is so
that's what she said in the text?
Yeah.
Dang.
It was like
I'd
the
be so
quote.
well, James Baldoni. Oh my God, Ryan Reynolds is here. Taylor Swift is here. And it's a penthouse in New York City.
Well, I think that's
Wow.
that's
Make the
probably
movie
what they
whatever you
thought.
want.
I got to tell you something. It makes me want to see the movie now.
Yeah, me too.
It doesn't
The movie
make me
is
want to see the
mid.
movie.
I had
yeah.
no desire to see the movie
I wanna see it.
because I heard she changed the opening scene. I heard it's the opening scene where they meet on the rooftop is what I heard. So now I want to see that scene.
That's actually probably the best scene in the entire movie.
That's Blake Lively's scene.
Oh, it's the best scene in the whole movie, I think.
Well, then so she has
Well,
a
then you're
point.
Team Blake then.
I mean, I'm not team anybody until we have the facts, but I
But-
find it really interesting how these lawyers and these psychiatrists are breaking down Justin Baldoni because they're saying this is like textbook narcissist, like what he's doing, and how basically the way that he's retaliating is because basically Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds are literally your textbook definition of power couple. So he's just coming back that much harder to prove a point. Is what these psychiatrists are breaking down.
400 million. I mean, what are they, Pfizer? They're just a couple. What do they sue
They're
for
bigger than
so much?
Pfizer.
They are bigger than Pfizer.
It's Blake Lively
But that's
and
a
Ryan
lot.
Reynolds.
That's a
They're two of the
huge chunk of
biggest stars in
change.
the
That's
world.
got to be
It's a
one of
lot
the,
of money.
that's
But,
got to be one of the biggest one of those suits in history.
but think about it. In Hollywood, you've got your reputation. And once you are canceled, which both of these are in cancelable positions, I think if you find out, if we find out Justin Baldoni is 100% correct, people have a different view of Blake Lively.
Yeah.
Because up
And
until
Ryan
now,
Reynolds. For sure.
she's very only lovable.
Right.
Right? Justin Baldoni, if he gets blackballed, by Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds, his whole career is going to be over.
And
So
he's the
there's a
little
lot at
guy.
stake.
It's like, I never
He's a little
heard of this guy
Right,
until
that's what I'm
this came
saying.
out.
Like, and
Yeah.
I don't know if Ryan Reynolds and Blake Lively, like, they'll get canceled for a little bit, but they'll be fine. I think that they are that much of fan favorites of everyone else that they won't get as canceled as Justin Baldoni. Like, we won't ever
Right.
see or hear from him ever again.
Did you
And
see
so
the
that's why I
Swifties?
find it interesting that the people are breaking it down. Like, maybe he's just fighting because he knows this could end his career.
Right.
The Swifties are all posting last night. All right, Swifties, we write at dawn. Once Taylor got involved.
That's actually insane to think about, that, like, the Swifties are ready to, like, gear up like that. That she has that much power. It's
Yeah, how about
Yeah.
what's the latest with Wendy Williams? I thought she could even speak.
Yeah, and she can speak, and she's fighting for herself right now. She's saying she's in a conservatorship, and they basically said she went crazy. They basically said she cannot be in charge of her own life at all. They put her in a home, and she actually did an interview where she said, what they're saying about me, that, like, I'm out of my mind, is not true.
I am not cognitively impaired. You know what I'm saying? No, but I feel like I am in prison. You understand what I'm saying? I'm in this place where the people are in their 90s and their 80s.
She said, I keep the door closed. I watch TV, but I feel like she said, like I'm in a prison because there's things I want to do that they're not letting me do. And it's like, I'm sitting here like, I can do these things. Let me do them. And then she got, really emotional.
What if I can't see my dad for his birthday? At 94, the day after that is not promised. It's not promised. I want to give my dad some sort of fragrance. I want to go to Sephora and pick and choose. What? My life is like up.
She's prepared for the fact that her phone might be taken away.
What if they take my phone? I won't be able to talk to anybody.
Doesn't that break your heart?
That's so sad. Hashtag free Wendy.
Free
Because
Wendy.
Are we serious right now? This
Right.
is just like Britney Spears all over again.
Yeah.
And then she's actually going to lose her mind, and they're going to call her crazy, and we're all going to say, yeah, she's crazy, but they're doing this to her.
I know.
That makes me so mad.
Hashtag free Wendy.
Please.
Trending.
Hello, it is Ryan, and we could all use an extra bright spot in our day, couldn't we? Just to make up for things like sitting in traffic, doing the dishes, counting your steps, all the mundane stuff. That is why I'm such a big fan of Chumba Casino. Chumba Casino has all your favorite social casino-style games that you can play for free anytime, anywhere with daily bonuses. That should brighten your day a little. Actually, a lot. So sign up now at ChumbaCasino.com. That's ChumbaCasino.com.
No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. See terms and conditions. 18+.
Hello, iHeart listener. We have a confession to make. Both iHeart and this commercial you're listening to right now would probably sound a heck of a lot better on the new Roku Pro Series TV. It's got side-firing speakers that fill your room with sound, Dolby Atmos audio that puts you right in the middle of the entertainment, and the ability to pair seamlessly with your home theater sound systems that already have surround sound and booming bass. If all that sounds too good to be true, it'll sound even better on the new Roku Pro Series. Your hearing isn't better, your TV is.
For some of us, personal finances aren't just personal. They include a lot more people than ourselves. Loved ones, neighbors, the communities we call home, and the causes we hold in our hearts. At Thrivent, we help plan your financial picture with the bigger picture in mind. Because even though our business is helping guide your finances, our ambition is to make it mean so much more. Thrivent, where money means more. Connect with us at Thrivent.com.
Make it trend.
One lottery ticket makes a big difference for our state students. And when I say big, I mean bigger than jackpot big. Since 2002, South Carolina students have benefited from more than $6 billion in lottery-funded scholarships and grants, including the Life, Hope, and Palmetto Fellow Scholarships. With every lottery play, you're supporting our students, and that adds up in a big way. That's why education is our middle name. Learn more at sceducationlottery.com/betteryou.